Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another beauty rewind video that will be focusing on the best and worst blushes of 2019 as well as the best and worst highlighters of 2019. If that's something that interests you, then make sure you keep on watching, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I love to wear blush. I think it breathes so much life back into a makeup look, especially after you have just powdered it down, you've only done a little bit of contouring or bronzing, and you just need that flush of color back in your cheeks, and blush is gonna give you this beautiful glow, as will a highlight of course, but I'm more of a blush girl. I don't actually like highlighters that much, so for me it's kind of weird to be talking about the best highlighters and the worst highlighters because I really don't like highlighters in general. But I will certainly explain why in just a second. I do want to talk about blushes first because they are one of my favorite beauty products to use. Like I said, it breathes life back into a look, and I think it really pulls a look together. I am a fan of shimmering blushes. I also love a good matte blush. I'm really indifferent to the type of finish that one might have. I do like a blush that is pigmented because on my oily skin, it does fade really quickly. Blendability obviously is another thing that I'm going to look for, and I also like a blush that is very smooth and silky. Blushes with a rougher texture just don't look good on my skin. Also, blushes with a lot of shimmer or glitter in them also do not look good on my skin because I do have a lot of texture that I'm dealing with. For me, there is a standout blush formula this year, and it does come from Hourglass. I purchased one of their holiday quads this year. This is the Ambient Lighting Blush Quad that actually had a couple of new shades in here. Up here is Surreal Effect. There's Brilliant Nude over here, Lucid Glow down here, and Infinite Flush over here. Brilliant Nude and Lucid Glow down here are strobe blushes, which means they are going to have a little bit of highlight embedded in them, so they are going to look a little more highlighty in addition to blushy. I guess those are new terms and very technical terms that I'm going to be using. The other two that we have over here, so Surreal Effect up here and then Infinite Flush down here, are just regular blushes, and all of these colors look beautiful on the skin. They have such a natural finish. I am obsessed with this formula, so much so that I actually have full sizes of quite a few of them. Luminous Flush is actually one of my favorite blushes. I think this looks so stunning on the skin if you want like a nice pink glow. I've also got Brilliant Nude, which is also included in this quad here. Brilliant Nude goes with just about every single eye look you're gonna create out there. It is so flattering. Dim Infusion is another really great color if you just want a very light wash of color. It's so fair. It's more of like an apricot color. Stunning on the skin. I love it. And I also have Diffused Heat, which is a color that I use when I want a little more pop of pink. The Hourglass formula is just beautiful. It is baked, it is very smooth, and it goes on the skin flawlessly. It doesn't really enhance texture, which is something that I am a big fan of, especially because I do have quite a bit of texture around this area here, and that's one of the big reasons why I'm not a huge fan of highlighters. The only other blush formula that I want to talk about that was a standout for me in 2019 actually comes from Kylie Cosmetics, and this was a big surprise for me. I was not expecting to like this formulation as much as I did, and I only purchased two colors, and I believe I got these during the Cinco de Mayo sale. I have the color Crush, which looks like this, and I don't know if you can see this well on camera, but I have made a really nice dent in this. The formula does feel very smooth, so the powder itself applies really nicely. It blends out well, but one thing that you'll notice in the powder is that some of the ingredients haven't blended to perfection, so you are going to notice a little bit of chunkiness with some of the powder ingredients in here. That's the one thing I'd say the Kylie formula needs to fix, but in terms of the application and the staying power, it's a solid formula. The other color that I have is called Winter Kissed. and oh, I don't like her packaging. And this is a really nice pink color. Again, looks very flattering on the cheeks. It is a beautiful flush of color. Winter Kissed actually isn't as pigmented as what it looks. So I don't know if you can see that on my finger there. It is a little more sheer, which I actually don't mind with this particular color because I think you can build it up really, really well. And that's something I appreciate about the Kylie blushes, is that they're very, very buildable. So if you do want a stronger flush of color, you can achieve that. Or if you want that light wash, you can also get that with this particular formula. So for me, Hourglass and Kylie blushes are some of the best blushes of this past year. I haven't played with that many new blush formulations or new blushes from different brands. I kind of stick to what I like. Again, it's one of those items that I don't want to spend that much money on if I already have some really great products at home. But I did pick something up from the drugstore that just didn't work out, and I really tried to like it. And I think it can work as a highlighter, but as an actual blush, and it's this one here. This is from Wet n Wild. It's the Color Icon Baked Blush. I remember wearing this for the first time and I thought, wow, this is a really glowy blush. And man, I definitely would not consider this a blush product. This is more of a highlighter, if that. I just think it is really, really pigmented. I mean, there is no way I would wear something like this on my cheeks. It would accentuate way too much texture, and I don't think it would look flattering at all, even though the tone is beautiful. I think if this was a matte color, it would be lovely. And don't get me wrong, Wet n Wild has some lovely, lovely blushes. I think I've talked about them in a past video, but this one here is just not a blush. I don't think it's gonna work really well as that. You might want to give it a shot as a highlighter. That's why I'm putting this one in particular in my worst of category. Moving on to highlighters. I actually don't have any really bad highlighters to talk about, so I'm only going to be talking about the best highlighters of 2019. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm not a huge fan of highlighting my face. I feel like it really accentuates my texture, and because I already have oily skin, I don't need any extra glow. For the time being, I really like my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. I think that adds a bit of a glow from within all over my skin, so I kind of stick to that. But if my skin is feeling a little bit on the dry side, especially in the winter time, and I feel like I need a bit of a glow, these are gonna be my go-to highlighters. And there's one in particular that I've been using almost every single day mixed in with my foundation, and I am so happy that this product exists, and of course it would come from Dior. This is the Backstage Face and Body Glow in the shade Universal. Oh my goodness, this color is freaking awesome. It blends so well into all of my foundations. It doesn't leave my skin looking like an oil slick. It's not overly highlighted. It actually just gives me a really nice luminosity. And this product is budge proof. When you put it on and it sets, so basically when it dries down, it is not going to move. So if you do want to use this all over your body, if you want to use it around your décolleté area here, or your shoulders, your legs, wherever you're planning on using a highlighter, this is gonna go on and it's not gonna move. It's such a stunning product. And initially I was worried about the color because I thought, oh, you know, it might be a little bit on the dark side, but let me tell you, when you blend this sucker in, it's just gonna look so, so flattering. Like there it is blended out on the back of my hand, and hopefully you can see it's just a beautiful sheer wash of color. And now that it's dried down, it's not really blending out anymore or budging. And that's the only thing I'm gonna warn you about this particular product. Once you start working with it, work quickly, because once it sets, it sets. Man, what an incredible product. Dior comes out with some of the best complexion products, and I think their whole Backstage collection is just delightful. It has not steered me wrong. The next highlighter I'm gonna talk about is a favorite of mine because of the formulation, not necessarily because of the brand. brand that it comes from. It is the Anastasia and Amrezy collaboration. This is in the shade, I guess, just Amrezy. It is such a unique formula. I love the way it looks in the pan. I think it's a universally flattering sort of gold peachy tone. Oh, it feels wet when you initially touch your finger in the pan, and then when you apply it onto your skin, it just gives you this beautiful sort of luminous glow. It is absolutely delightful, and it's going to give your cheeks a really great pop. The only downside to this particular product is that it was a limited edition, so I don't think Anastasia makes this highlighter anymore, but if they ever do bring it back, get your hands on it. This is a wonderful, wonderful highlighter. For me, highlighters need to have a really good pearl finish to make it into my best of category. I really don't like glittery highlighters. I think they look awful, especially on really textured skin, and somebody who has enlarged pores like myself. It just accentuates things you don't want a highlighter to accentuate. And so this is another reason why I'm a fan of the Ofra highlighters. I think they have a beautiful pearl finish. This one here is in the shade Bali. As you can see, I've really dug into this one. I like wearing this on occasion in the summertime when I want more of a highlight. I have a couple of other highlighters from Ofra as well. The color Rodeo Drive is, I think, a very popular one from the brand. It's also such a beautiful gold tone. Oh, it's a nice kind of glow from within. It looks beautiful on the skin. And I also have Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk is more of a pinky highlighter, and this is one that looks a little bit frostier on the skin, so it is going to be good for those with a fair to a light complexion, but I love using this for my inner corner as well. If I'm doing a look that requires a little more frostiness, Pillow Talk is such a great color to just pop in the inner corner of your eye and be out the door. I feel like this is going to be one of my shortest beauty rewind videos because those are all of the products that I had to talk about. I am now going to throw it over to you. Let's have a conversation in the comment section and let me know what some of your favorite highlighters are and what some of your favorite blushes were. And also don't forget to dish the dirt on what some of the worst highlighters and blushes were this past year as well. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Before you click out, you know the drill. Give the video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. If you want to keep up with me outside of YouTube, you are more than welcome to do that by following me on all of my social media, which I will link for you in the description box below. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you are all having an amazing day, no matter where you are in the world. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!